A very good evening once again. Welcome to the second edition of News Tonight. It's me, Michael Ntungamo, with Elizabeth Nakakoni, our sign language interpreter. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has embraced the Tuesday, 6th May 2025 grassroots voting of the National Resistance Movement Party at his Eminence Cardinal Emmanuel Nshubuga Primary School polling station in Rakitura, Kiruhura district. The president did not participate in the voting process, which was by lining behind a particular candidate. He only took part in the station baraza, which verifies party supporters.
Just like it was laid down in the NRM roadmap, the voting process of lower-level party structures were meant to kick off at exactly 10 a.m. of Tuesday, 6th May 2025, and the party chairman, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, indeed walked the talk. Donning yellow party colors, President Museveni is a long-time registered voter of this cell in Rakitura.
Rakitura, His Excellency President, Parish Modo, Rakitura cell.
Tebendera yanyu awaLC1 yikyaleki ikyakashatu nokuronda bali abembezi bayeneremu abantu 30 mbenda kakuzo muri ebibindi tunubwire bwabe.
To oversee the voting in Rakitura was the chairperson, NRM Electoral Commission, Dr. Tang Odoi.
His Excellency President. Abantu maganasha to atano nomwe.
Uyu n'umurimo atushomere abantu bana bahurire.
His Excellency said the first is to audit the register.
Dr. Tang Odoi was quick to take the voters through the do's and the don'ts of the polls.
To confirm that these are bona fide members of the village and also people who belong to NRM. That's the purpose of this meeting, so that we authenticate that register, that the register is actual and members of NRM are the ones captured.
Viraro Moses is the registrar of Rakitura cell.
And I want to request you to take full charge, and I'm watching you from here.
He sounds to know what he's doing.
At this polling station, both President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and first son, Gen. Muhoozi Kainerugaba, were confirmed by the baraza as truly registered voters, although the First Lady Gen. Kataha Museveni shifted from this polling station to Ntungamo district.
You can check. I think she votes in Ntungamo. You check that.
Yes.
Now?
Shortly after the baraza, which reduced the polling voters from 351 to 290, the LC1 polls kicked off and different leaders were elected to carry the yellow flag for different positions. The president thereafter addressed the party members at this cell, where he winded back on how the exercise had kicked off earlier.
We came in the morning. Our registrar had the list of the NRM members here, and he had a list of 351, but we have audited them, and we have found that 61 people either died or migrated. We have therefore ended up with 290 members of the NRM here already registered and confirmed. Because me, I know other people who are not on this list.
Yes.
So we shall have to go and, now that I know, certainly some of my grandchildren, the children of Muhoozi, they are now above 18, and I'm sure they will want to join the party, but their names are not there. But those will be added later.
Museveni, however, highlighted how these structural elections can be crucial in keeping the party progressive and intact.
I want to congratulate the people of Rakitura and congratulate all NRM people in the whole country. Because this is very good for the party. If I assume that there are 290 NRM members, at least in 72,000 villages, that would work out to what?
20.8 million.
That would mean 20.8 million. That's not bad. This is very good.
Before we go to face other parties, we first prepare ourselves. This is one of the processes of preparing ourselves to go and meet other parties.
What we should take as a lesson, you cannot support your party when you don't belong to the party. And you cannot belong to the party unless you are in the register.
The grassroots elections of the NRM party have concluded here successfully in Kiruhura district, with the president of Uganda, who also serves as the chairperson of the NRM party, gracing and embracing the activities of the day. It has been emphasized that indeed, if the party is to secure the future and lay the ground for the next generation, this is very important that it starts from this level. I'm Robert Onyango for UBC News here in Kiruhura district.
In Kakumiro district, the lower level elections of the NRM registered a large number of candidates passing through unopposed. Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, who is also a Kakumiro woman member of parliament, participated in monitoring the smooth election in the district.
Throughout the country, the ruling NRM party today conducted their grassroots elections in all villages in Uganda. The elections were conducted by lining up behind the candidates. The Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, who is also a Kakumiro woman member of parliament, participated in monitoring the smooth elections in the district.
As you know, NRM is popular. The NRM I know, here in my village, we don't have any other party. It's like we are conducting a general election, the usual general elections. And so, to me, once you are done with the village election, that is it. I don't expect any competition thereafter.
Agamba okulwanira ekifo tekiri kirungi, yagamba akalulu tweyawukanye ekikala ekimu kwamba ndi mu bikala ebi biri bibiri NRM n'obwa stamp.
Mazira kuyikiraniza na chairperson wange akuja kusigala Entebbe nti executive ya yona ena kusesebwa yayikiraniza nakyo kyandetya kugamba omulingo tukujja kukyusaamu leka kulindugeyo nsigala kyaba NRM.
Ntebbe twesimbire babiti beti nyona mulekera nyo kyemvire mulekera nsobole kwesimba kikere kini ngenda L2 abokwera mbere ndi n'abakyala wa L2
nanyo wansimire muno omukyala ikairewo nakola abo okuyikiraniza yayikiraniza n'akakulato kange twamuwecha trezala betukani nanyowe tinkukanga hanu nanye nkweyongerayo nkugonza abakyala bahansi nabo balugeyo babe kulungi.
Nabanja says a large number of them pass unopposed.
We have also had consensus here. I have been following. There are those villages where there is stiff competition. And so the village mates will definitely come up with a winner. But there are those where we have had consensus. Almost 30% of our villages, the leaders have gone through unopposed. Especially the old leaders. 30% so far, as of yesterday.
In Kachindo sub-county, the turn-up of voters was massive as the state minister in charge of transport, Fred Byamukama, inspected the voting in the area.
We are the climax of the NRM elections at village levels. Me, I'm here as a member of parliament, Buganga is West, and I vote from here. And today I did not line up, but I came to watch. I came to watch and I came to attend the baraza, the NRM baraza. In the baraza, we have seen those who died. We have removed them from the register. This method of voting is very transparent. You can see people have lined up, and you can see those who are not in the register. They are outside the ring. You can see them outside the ring. Those who have not been registered in the register, they are outside the ring.
The NRM registrar for Kakumiro district, Gonzaga Byaruhanga, says the voting throughout Kakumiro district was very successful without any problem.
Today, we have had a successful election, LOC1 elections in Kakumiro district. In Kakumiro district, we have 585 villages, and we have successfully elected our leaders at LOC1. That means that we have 30 people per village plus LOC1 flag bearer. And this has set our ground in preparation for the forthcoming elections. Our registers have been fully utilized and we don't complain because it has been used, and those who were not in the register have not participated in voting, which means, and there are very few those who were not in the register, and now for us we are set for the forthcoming elections.
First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, who also serves as the NRM party chairperson for Ntungamo district, joined the party supporters in Ruguma, Sel, Kikoni Parish, Ntungamo's sub-county, to participate in the baraza that aimed at verifying the NRM member register and conducting elections for village-level structures.
The First Lady, Janet Museveni, arrived at Irenga Trading Center at 10 a.m. and the session began with the verification of the 286 names in the party register. During the exercise, 30 individuals were found to have either died or migrated from the area. The baraza proceeded with the nomination and reading of names for candidates contesting for various positions. These included 5 key positions in the NRM mainstream leadership and the 30 slots representing special interest groups such as the youth, women, persons with disabilities, veterans and the elderly. The First Lady commended NRM supporters for peaceful participation in their party electoral processes.
Mwayemerera structures za movement mu baraza yerizoba mwakikoraje hatarimu ebituga hatarimu orwari hatarimu okuterera obukando kyezo kazohoriya twena twabantu tureba abantu banyu baba baraba baterera obururu ekintu kyona kyagendaje munonga mukamasiimwe habwaitu twena kampanye nguriro hati mwabebembezi abakwata umwanya gwanyu buri omwe numanya omurimo gumwine kwija kukora hagokuba n'omurimo mukuru ekyaro kyanyu nimwe mukwija kukyombeka.
The baraza meeting was presided over by Bessie Milton, the NRM registrar for Kikoni Parish, assisted by Alex Twesije, the registrar for Ruguma Sel.
Katabaka nakechigombe chinyamurunje chisinge bindi katebekanise ja katabaka.
Ntungamo District NRM Registrar Maria Mirembe, who was also in attendance, called on party members to ensure they participate in future voter register updates to avoid being turned away at polling stations and being excluded during critical party processes.
Kandi tichawayo nobundi ntwija kugira obururo bundi kandi ntuguma ntutera obururo habokuba Uganda ne democratic buri myaka 5 tutekwa kugaruka omu bururu ekyo nikimanyisa ngo aha murundo okukira kyakurabaho okore munonga kandi orebe ngo aha murundo gwaza kukurataho.
Movement way!
In the NRM LC1 chairperson flag bearer vote, incumbent Kasasi Habat secured 110 votes, defeating Atsasiri Hamada with 21 votes. Elected leaders for the Ruguma Sel NRM mainstream village NRM executive committee include Kobtetsi Catherine Tibimpama, chairperson unopposed, Byamukama Dennis, vice chairperson, Tugumisirize Stans, general secretary, Chichoncho Rosette, publicity secretary, Babanoha Daniel, finance secretary. This electoral exercise is part of a broader national effort of the 72,000 NRM polling stations across the country to strengthen grassroots democracy and the NRM party. I'm Nafka Farida, reporting.
In Kijura Central Masindi municipality, there were chaotic chaotic scenes that saw police deployment to calm the situation as tempers from electorate came up. Those who wanted the register to be used while they voted, and another group that said they wanted it without the register.
It is now the work of a returning officer. I don't want to participate in choosing your chairperson. I will watch to see that the winner wins.
The voting exercise at Good Times Nursery and Primary School in Kijura Central Masindi Municipality began at midday in a tight race between Kafumbe Elvis and Museveni Ruhanga Fred. Despite the election officials demanding for the use of a yellow book for voting, it fell on deaf ears. Disagreements then ensued, with some voters saying there is no need to use it because the whole of Kijura Central is NRM.
All NRM members, Kijura Central, but I want to tell you the test to Kijura Central. Ourselves, we know ourselves, we know guys of this place. We are born here and we are still here. So, for us, we want to go and select, then we still our chairman.
After heated arguments, voters lined up behind their candidates without using the register. Kafumbe Elvis emerged then as the favorite, but the voters of Museveni Ruhanga accused Kafumbe of having mercenaries, prompting the nullification of the exercise.
If they don't use the register, at least they would rather postpone the elections. We make a proper organization for our flag bearer here.
Moments later, Kafumbe's voters could later be seen whisking him away, chanting winning slogans of their man. The intervention of Minister Balam calmed down the situation by guiding that the voting exercise should be by reading from the NRM register as the law demands. The police deployment later on added to the calmness amidst raging dissatisfaction from Kafumbe Elvis supporters who protested the use of the register to vote.
The mayoral elections in Nakaseke Central turned frenzy in Kachinzi, Katoke, Katakala, Katugo, Chasampanga, Nachesawa and Bututi villages. The youth suspected to be NUP members were seen fighting amongst themselves, accusing each other of being NRM supporters and questioning why they hadn't been registered.
Chairman waffe mulungi nnyo naye obukulembeze obutuuka mu bantu bategeere ki ekitambula mu ggwanga kitono.
Abamu kaadi ya NRM twagitandika nga tugiriko abantu 6 tugenze okutuuka mu kalulu nga tugisigaddeko abantu 3 bebaani.
Realized that people are becoming increasingly have confidence in NRM, and I suspect a very big voter turnout compared to 2021. Because our song has been all along, we've been mobilizing them to go back and rethink. So that's why we started the slogan saying return NRM Kuntiko, that return NRM on top. And indeed the youth have accepted and the youth have listened. I've seen one of the villages, Chabalere, where first time voters were coming up with strong force and they were so much enthusiastic to come and participate in the elections. 16th July and 2021, I'm pretty sure our people will come in larger numbers to support NRM. So I'm very happy that NRM is coming back, especially among the younger youth. Sometimes I want to appeal to some people. I know, when you come into a competition, you lose. So you can win and lose. But now I want to appeal to most of them to always be calm, because they should know this is a game of winners and a game of losers. But just as we were directed by and guided by our leaders at NRM Secretariat, this is a moment where we are in a family. Once we get a family representative, all of us now should rally behind. That's why we don't conduct campaigns among the especially at these structures. So we are only looking for one thing. Let's get somebody to lead us, and then all of us will rally behind. Towards us where we are going, that people are now becoming back. They are trying to rebirth or bring back the confidence. They are now taking a lot of confidence in NRM. And indeed, I'm going to concentrate on this so that we manage the situation.
In Rukungiri, Rujumbura County MP General Jim Muhwezi participated in the LC1 NRM elections at Kagunga Cell, Chigaga Parish, Nyakajeme Sub-County.
At the event, which brought together local leaders and supporters from different villages of 831 in Rukungiri district, was part of the party's efforts to strengthen its internal democracy and ensure that its leadership reflects the will and aspirations of its members at the local level.
It is not possible to deploy security at a polling station because we have 831 villages and I don't have enough police manpower. Even UPDF can combine together, cannot even reach 50. So what we decided was that we put security on alert, and we gave our numbers, mine, deputy, DSO, DPs, and so on, to the community, so that in case there is any problem, any chaos, they call us and respond. But so far, things have been okay. So the mere fact that we have not deployed security at polling stations, that's the fact that the people of Rukungiri are very peaceful and they love their district. So they cannot cause any commotion.
Jim Muhezi's presence at the event underscored the importance of grassroots participation in shaping the party's future.
The members are in Kampala and other cities, towns doing work, but they agreed with the leaders that were chosen to represent them in the various positions that were filled today.
Minister Muhwezi also noted that LC1 elections are a crucial step in ensuring that the party's leadership is accountable to its members and reflects the needs and aspirations of the local community.
The turn-up was low, but at the same time, all the positions were unchallenged, were unopposed, and that is the reason why people didn't have any reason to go there to vote.
The Rukungiri District NRM Party Elections Officer Jackson Kiza Mugarura said the process went well with an average voter turn-up.
Now, the local council won elections in a Winner View zone kicked off to a delayed start due to a heavy downpour, with voters beginning to gather when the weather cleared. We have details from there.
The race featured three contenders, Farouk Katose Kabembe, Peter Semialo, and Fred Wazab. However, controversy emerged over the method of voting, lining up behind candidates. The disagreement escalated into clashes and chaos. Heavy security and chaotic scenes. Amid growing tension, security forces tightened the grip, with police patrolling the area. Eventually, under police directive, voters began to line up behind their preferred candidates. Sekabembe's line quickly swelled, drawing loud cheers from supporters.
President Museveni
Among those present,
was the aspiring candidate Mayamba Layosam.
We have kickstarted off well, and this will take us up to the final elections of the president, because we want our president to win, President Museveni to win, so that Ugandans continue enjoying the peace, continue enjoying all the good things that our president is doing for this country.
Following the announcement of preliminary results, Jubilant Sekabembe supporters took the streets in a makeshift rally.
Kyenzizako kuweereza abantu bange nga keeki ya NRM ebadde eyita mu mikono esatu ena eyita mu mikono gyange buli muntu agabaneko nzizaako kuweereza abantu bagabanya bintu bibadde bijjira mu NRM chairman.
NRM ejja tukolera buli kimu kye twagala. Chairman Kato waba akwataganye naffe buli kimu nga bammemba oba baki oba bageto oba bamumbeera ki ffenna akwatagana munaffe.
The way they are supporting Chairman Kato, that is our man. That is a voice to the voiceless. That guy is so in the ghetto. If you say Chairman Kato represents us, the ghetto youths.
Rebecca Natongo, Jamil Sekaja, UBC News.
Now, in Gomba, the exercise in some areas was extended until the following day, which is tomorrow, due to irregularities and accusations that some candidates were bringing in people who were not listed in the official voters register. In other villages, elections did not still take place at all after some candidates withdrew from the race. We have it as well.
Endala zabadde zikirizibwa okulonda kuba wagambye tusome register basombye abantu kitegeeza omuntu watandika okusomba abantu obajja ebweru abata ekibiina kya NRM kiba tekikyamuyinamu bwesige asombye abantu n'abajja ebukalambajjo kanoni wa register ne bagisazaamu ne bakuba amasimu ewannayeebale n'aweereza omukyala n'akyankalanya akalulu naye ng'ekyo si kye kibadde ekigendererwa kyakalulu kaffe.
Nebagifulumya kiro tubakuba kyange ekoze ekinde wedde balesa abalonzi abatalina mukabula soke osegedde abalonzi bapya bonna tebuli muno n'omwawa kwekabula soke naye nga akyasinza okukola omuvyo wano ye chairman atwala eggombolere yakisinza okukola omuvyo mukaseka yakyasinza okukola ki akavuyo mpatanigira President Museveni agambe ku basirikale balekerawo okulya enguzi DPC n'alya enguzi ng'akawulu kaffe tukamaze okalonda kawedde n'agamba kayiwa naye olwaleero mwami muzuula olw'okuba yasombye abalonzi n'abajja mu bifo ebyewala nga bavubuka ne tukkiriziganya ffenna tuyite mu register naye bw'alabye ng'abalonzi abali mu register bonna abasinga obungi tiyasobodde kubayitirako ng'abasaba akalulu ne yeekyanga akalulu kabadde katambula bulungi nga twakiriziganyiza nti kabeere ka register naye olw'okubanga opponent wange abadde abantu balina nga bavubuka bannuupu nakkiriza nti akalulu kayibwe tayagala abantu ba register naye abantu be basomye mu register yaffe babadde bakyala bakulu abaawo abaddala ne bwojja obanoonya obalaba.
Naye nga ensonga eziyimiriziddwako okulonda kuno kyekuvira okuyimirira wabaddewo obutali bwesimbu. Ekisooka baleese register fake ne basoma abantu 120 ng'abaakalabikako abali abatuuze bakuno abalabise mu register 30.
And still the president should also talk to his registrars. They are not welcome as if they did not attend the sessions of voting. They were not so clear. They were telling us you should vote, you should not vote. Others were saying we should use the registers. Others were saying the registers should not be used. So I call upon the president to come and intervene right from the local councils.
In my village in Bugula, he was unopposed. But what I discovered is that in many villages where the chairperson was unopposed, some of the baraza activities were not carried out because they thought, you know, it was a no-show at the station. So that needs to be rectified.
In the areas of Gayaza, Bulamu, Lutete, Kasangati, Magere and others, NRM voters still turned up for the village level primaries and party elections. In some villages, such as Magere and Lutete, there were candidates who were unopposed.
Despite a mid-morning downpour, Atubulamu voters gathered while singing and chanting to support their candidates. Women representatives to veteran affairs were unopposed. With the exception of the NRM mainstream representative seat, the contest for this position was between Stewart Mutebi and Matthias Tiemba. Stewart Mutebi was declared the winner. At Magere, in Chito village, the process was calm, with all candidates unopposed. At Chanchima village, Kasangat in Chadendo Town Council, crowds of supporters gathered at Saza grounds to cheer their candidates. Here, the main race was between Lawrence Mayanja and Edli Muimbwa.
We are in the NRM structure, and my role here today is to ensure that we have security, we have a peaceful elections for the NRM.
NRM Chief Mobilizer for the Buganda region, Rosemary Seninde, arrived to assess the progress.
People were supposed to be here by 8, by 10 they were supposed to have the baraza, and then by midday elections would have started. But as we speak, you can't believe it's coming to 1. We have not started. This area has not started, not even the baraza. Simply because the registrar had gone with the register. He was nowhere to be seen. And so everybody's confused.
Rebecca Natongo, Juma Samba, UBC News.
The elected NRM local council leaders in Fort Portal City have asked government to equip them with transport means and necessary materials to use in their offices. This was during the local council elections in their areas.
The voting exercise of NRM local council committees in Fort Portal City was marred by low turn-up in some villages. 3 zones of Kachwamba A, Kachwamba B, Kidukuru, Kihembo A in Central Division of Fort Portal City had unopposed leaders on the local council seat.
I was chairperson in C1 for the last 5 years. Now this is my second term. But the residents have decided to not stand on me. They said you can go and oppose it. And this morning I just signed the declaration forms only, so I'm alone on this race. And we appeal to government to give us some transport, like motorcycle, not bicycle, because a bicycle can do nothing. So as we are growing old, we want motorcycles so that we can work. We can work very well.
In other areas, some residents had no idea about the exercise, calling on government to start early mobilization.
It requires time, but sometimes given the time is less, so people don't participate effectively. So the process is to start early, so that by the time the electoral process, they start consultation across the country. Other views are already gathered, which can form the process.
In Kidukuru, Kihembo B, the election was marred by chaos as some residents were not in the register but turned up for voting. Jackson Mayombo, the senior registrar for Central Division, had earlier warned that only those whose names are in register should vote, which officials followed.
Only those who are in the register must vote. They must fill those places. For example, for youth, women's, disabled, and veterans.
However, the exercise ended successfully, with Kabahenda Grace emerging as winner with 89 votes against her competitor, Rubuga Grace Kwebiha, with 42 votes.
My people know me very well. I know the village. I know every house in my village. Now I want to go and work for them as a chairperson MC1.
Big think about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. MTN kabo the Super mustairompia. Then you kabo the smartphone nebi yakabibiona. MTN kabo the Super mustairompia. Then you kabo the smartphone nebi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest mpora in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
This May 24th is the grand finale of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo 2025. Festival Day at Speak Resort Munyonyo. Experience a vibrant mix of music, dance, fashion, art, a fun-filled kids section and an epic boat regatta on Lake Victoria. Live on stage, Luthri, Winnie Nwaji, Abeka Band, Otim Alpha, Suna Ben, Shilaga Shumba, Salvador, Alideki Brian, crane performers and more. General tickets go for 20k and VIP for 50k. Get yours now at tagticketing.com. What a festival day. Celebrate culture, celebrate Uganda. Don't miss it.
Mera ngenze mbonipa Sam anazanya Ruto ganyiga star 278 then hash kujja kuba ngo yingide mukazanyo nga sente zino zimula wano zina wangu wazino wano milioni 10 ebindi wanasoka bila ku TV nange sasoka kikiriza ninga mulaye kino kinzo kubanga kitufu oba yaddala tibya mufere sente zona zifunye zona zikoze ki naziwangudde amasanyu ina manji ebyoto byange byembadde njagala genda bitukiriza.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory.
Okero. Kajambo. Akamulaga wana abawa nyumba. Apakako noga bazeyo. Mugida kuligidamu. Neda sewe. Tuli mu kugenda ku polling station kukebera nkalala z'abalonzi. Njagala kakasiza ddala nti erinnya lyange mwe liri mu register. Nja kusobola okulonda. Ate no Sophie wano naye agenda kakasiza ddala nti erinnya lye mwe liri mu register. Kaka fenna tugenda kukebera tulabe nga tusobola okulonda. Mama. Ate bano abalinzi baffe betuyi. Bano nno tebakyali balenzi. Kati basajja okulonda okwaggwa bali bakyali bato. Naye ku mulundi guno nabo bagenda kulonda era gye tuli tugenda tukebera amanya gaffe. Ontagaza ekintu kino nange kanzira waka nkime mukyala wange tukebere enkalala z'okulonda.
Enkalala z'abalonzi zitimbiddwa wonna awalonderwa mu ggwanga era nga zijja kubaayo okutuukira ddala nga 15 omwezi ogwokutaano 2025. Tosubwa omukisa guno ogenda okukakasa ti woolondera we watuufu n'ebikwatako byebyo ebiwandiikiddwa. Tutegeeza abo abaafa basobole okuggibwa mu nkalala z'abalonzi. Kw'ossa n'abo abalabikira ku lukalala okusukka omulundi ogumu nabo basobole okutereezebwa. Buli kalulu ka muwendo. Obubaka buno bukutuusibwako ekitongole kya Electoral Commission of Uganda.
Agriculture is Uganda's economic backbone, employing about 70% of the working population and contributing 20% of the GDP. As the world becomes a digital global village, ICT has proven to increase productivity in the agricultural value chain. UKUSAF, through its Strategic Plan 3, recognizes the importance of access and usage of ICT-based tools, information and knowledge for farmers by providing them the needed skills to live, learn, work and participate in a digital society.
We came up with a project which we took to UKSAF, and we're happy that UKSAF supported it. That project is called ICT for Farmers. What do we get from ICT for Farmers? we managed to skill up to 100,000 farmers.
Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. Now, the NRM local council elections was smooth in Karamoja. In Kotido, Malo, Paul Nangiro, a border rider, won Kotido municipality. MP Ismail Lomwa for the party chairperson at Lodipidip Cell, Kotido Rural Ward Central Division in Kotido municipality.
In Moroto municipality, the district voting exercise started after midday, and at Singara polling station, the voters were stranded when the registrar had not arrived.
The challenge, the presiding officers are not seen. So now people are now leaving back to their work.
It's 11, but I'm not seeing an activity taking place here.
We are waiting for presiding officers. That's the only challenge.
Where are they?
We don't know.
At Nabuim village, katika Kiruhura sub-county, Entebbe county, there were 3 contestants in the race.
This is politics. I'm failing. I'm failing because of life. When you fail, you don't get the solution. You don't get the problem. You don't get it. You just accept and say, I've failed politically. I've failed, and I know one day I will also succeed and pass. I'm happy for the love my people have showed me. Cultures, I will have to stop. I will have to encourage my people in education, because education here is too low.
And when I look at the pattern of the activity, it is very normal in the rural areas. It is only confusion in town, where some aspirants are trying to say, this one was in a party of so-and-so, this was with the party of so-and-so, don't recruit this one, which we have told the registrars and the polling officers, just ignore.
In Kotido, the election was peaceful. In Amudat district, voters never wanted to follow registrars, as most people were not registered. Voters preferred lining up without any verification. By 2 p.m., voting was still going on in some areas in Amudat district. In Kabong, voting exercise was interrupted by the heavy downpour, which lasted for long hours, but it later resumed. There was an increased number of females voted in the LC1 offices.
Coming over women, but for us as the community, we have gone through by saying rules are for everyone. Let women also be empowered in the society of Uganda.
To become a full LOC1, where people elected me. I'm very happy for the people to know that I'm a good leader since the 30 years past. What I'm going to do to my people, they know me, I'm a social person to them, we share problems, those characteristics will go. As women in this community, most of men don't look like we can also lead. That's why as senior voters, we choose a woman over a man, because we know a woman is the one who is the mother of the family. So a village is like our family. So when she comes in, she's going to take care of all the people, and it's like all the people are children.
Leaders urged security to deploy in areas where elections are taking place. Nabila Tuk district has 108 villages, Amudat 416, Kotido 493, Kerenga 228, Moroto 232, and Kabong 455.
In Kiruhura, chaos erupted during the primary elections of the NRM in Chiganda D, prompting intervention of security agencies to quell the situation.
In Chireka D, voters disregarded the official register, lining up behind their preferred candidates. Tensions flared during the NRM primary elections when Haumba Moses refused to accept his defeat, resulting in a violent altercation as police and UPDF intervened. Kananura Daniel, aspiring MP for Chira, urged supporters who lost to focus on their shared party membership and the importance of unity.
I therefore take this opportunity to call upon all those NRM members that didn't make it, that this is not the end. As a team, we need to have that solidarity. We expect you to be one. We must have one voice always. So let's work together as a team.
Muyanja Umar won with 955 votes, while Moses received 446. Meanwhile, in Biogerere Chileku Mine, Tawe Abasi emerged victorious with 82 votes, defeating Akiza Dixon, who received 76 votes. In Chileku Railway, Biamukama Kizito won with 150 votes. Philip Aguta and Chontawaire Proskovia for UBC News.
In Entebbe, the exercise was almost disrupted by a heavy downpour, but the NRM supporters braved the downpour and participated in the election.
The elections for NRM village structures and LC1 chairpersons, flag bearers in Entebbe municipality started with a low turn-up in some of the polling stations with early downpour. The local leadership of Entebbe municipality cited some challenges during NRM LC1 flag bearers and village structures as some voters turned rowdy, registering dissatisfaction with their yellow registers, stating majority were not in the registers.
And some people are complaining that they are not seeing their names, but these are a few people, and I'm sure they are not, they will check the register properly and the names will be there, and even if their names are not there, we shall consult and see how they will participate.
I'd like to call upon people who are responsible for this exercise to look into that. If they can give us 1 more week for voters to access their registers again, go back and recheck their details.
We have 2 divisions, we have 24 villages, and the president has called upon us to come and participate. You realize that out of the 24 villages, the 17 villages, most of the positions have gone unopposed.
Entebbe municipality has got 24 villages, of which 17 villages accepted to bring back leaders unopposed, of which 7 villages voted the committee leaders and NRM LC1 flag bearers. Joint security agencies were deployed to contain any fracas that might have risen as some voters protested.
We are working hand in hand with the UPDF, and we have made deployment in most of these polling stations. Here, as you see, even the Osibu Gonga is on site with around 10 personnel, and in case of anything, we shall have more manpower. But we shall have a smooth exercise, I'm sure.
But NRM leadership promised to look into the grievances regarding the NRM register. Zahara Abigaba, Sula Kagugube, Entebbe.
Now, a practical pedagogical camp for learners of French is making waves across the country to boost French language proficiency in among Ugandan students. Now, the French language camps for youth offer students a week-long immersive French experience through a combination of language learning and fun.
Dubbed Camp Le Dic Francophile Uganda or Califo, these French language camps offer a fun activity-based learning environment for secondary school students learning French.
Camp that helps students to acquire some skills in French which are not necessarily taught in class, depending on the activities, because we call it fun-based.
not really fun, but outside classroom activities.
We found it prudent that as a school, we help these children before they leave high school to have these certifications, such that if there are opportunities in we call them Francophone countries, they cannot miss out on them on either scholarships or job opportunities.
The camp, organized in collaboration with the French government, Alliance Française and Association of Teachers of French in Uganda, strengthens cultural and education ties between France and Uganda.
This camp is helping our youth, especially those students who are doing French, to improve on their communication competences so that they can be able to survive in this world. They can be able to get jobs outside Uganda.
And this is the moment, another methodology which we also use to ensure that we instill certain competences outside the classroom environment.
The Alliance Française Kampala is offering specialized training to French teachers in modern teaching methods aligned with international standards.
And they're part of a bigger project that we're running in coordination with the Association of Teachers of French in Uganda and the National Curriculum Development Center, where we're working together to strengthen the teaching of French, to ensure that the language is taught in a good quality and in a useful manner.
Sada Mubale, UBC News.
Now, the body of Rajiv Ruparelia, son to businessman Sudhir Ruparelia, has been cremated at the Hindu Cremation Center in Lugogo. The cremation was attended by Uganda's business community, politicians, and the Indian community. President Museveni was represented by the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Anita Among, who eulogized the late as a promising entrepreneur and a philanthropist.
Following his passing on Saturday in a fatal accident, Rajiv Ruparelia, son to businessman Sudhir Ruparelia, has been cremated. The funeral started off with a procession from the Ruparelia family home to Lugogo-based crematorium. Mourners witnessed steps taken before the cremation, including this moment where they walked past the body, praying and dropping flowers. During time for eulogies, family and friends of the Ruparelias described the late as a selfless person.
Rajiv was a man of the people, radiating kindness, humility, and genuine love for people, for all of all ages.
To many, he was a hero, a brother, a friend. But to our daughter, he was her dad. And in her eyes, that made him someone extraordinary.
We were a team. You always considered me as your motherly one, and you, my cheeky little brother, was always testing limits with Shinna, your mischievous partner in crime. There were so many moments of chaos, but there was always so much love.
Rajiv, through all our moments, every laugh, every fight, every wild idea, you were always the one who understood me best. Yes, we had our ups and downs, but we had some of the best ups growing up together.
Speaking for the first time since the passing of Rajiv, city businessman Sudhir Ruparelia, together with his wife, said their son was a talented and a fast learner.
As we reflect on his beautiful life, let us remember the laughter we shared, the lessons he taught us, the incredible person he was. Let's honor his memory by continuing his work, by reaching out to those in need, supporting education, and spreading kindness wherever we go. Thank you, Rajiv, for everything you stood for.
May his soul rest in eternal peace. Now, to go back a little to the NRM Local Council 1 elections, we'll look at what transpired in Jinja and how the exercise was that side.
Let's have re-elections. Re-elections are fair election, not this thing of bringing people from everywhere they come and elect in a place that is not yours. Right now they are not here. They have all gone. The mainstream people are here. They are here.
Girls are women, boys are men now. So how do they bring us a man who we have never seen on the main street?
My name is Henry Batamze, Chairman, Main Street Cell. We are supposed to have elections today, primaries for NRM, Chairman, Mainstream, and the Chairman.
I have come as a youth to stand and have won the election of...
Me, I'm sure they want to declare the winner is the registrar of that village. But it was not there.
Many streets.
For instance, Riverside did not vote. Rock, at the same time, other areas in Jinja here.
Election was cancelled because there was violence.
Because all of them, they work in that main street village. They are my friends because I've taken along with them.
We called the police came in and manned the situation. So we agreed that we stop the elections. So
I'd like to thank all our clients, our valued taxpayers, the people that we serve as we collect revenue for building our nation. I thank you very much for the questions you have sent through this program of Buza Commissioner. On behalf of URA, I would like to pledge that we are committed and we will continue to answer all the questions that you ask through this platform. The whole purpose for this program is to ensure that your pain points, your questions are efficiently responded to. So I would like to encourage all our taxpayers who have questions to ask to please utilize this program that we are running on UBC, that will be receiving your questions through the numbers that you've been given, and URA will be available to answer these questions every Monday and every Wednesday during the 8 o'clock news bulletin. And then on Sunday, after the news, we'll have a full response to all the questions that will have come in during the week. I thank UBC for supporting us in reaching our taxpayers, and I thank our taxpayers for responding positively to this program. Thank you very much.
Buza Commissioner.
We used to run, but most of the time we were running away from something. But nowadays, everything seems different. People still run, but they are running towards something. They run to test their limits, to break new records. And when we do it right, we inspire others.
The inaugural Coffee Marathon, uplifting rural coffee women, 24th May at Africa Coffee Park, Ntungamo.
Come, let us run.
To register, dial *217*413#. Choose option 4. Or scan the event QR code or visit the website to choose the race options. Brought to you by Inspire Africa Group.
Tecno and MTN. Together, our flash snap is unstoppable. Grab the Tecno Camon 40 series and get free 9 GB of MTN data valid for 3 months. Don't wait. Get your Tecno Camon 40 today at Tecno stores and MTN outlets. MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Baobab Uganda under the MTN Uganda has boosted Uganda's digital connectivity and unveiled its newest and shortest fiber optic route, the Uganda Railway National Long Distance from Malaba to Kampala.
The 260-kilometer route connects Kampala to the Kenyan border and links directly to Baobab's subsea cable landing stations in Mombasa, Kenya.
We are passing through the rail line. We are going through unserved, underserved communities, and we believe that this fiber is not only going to give us connectivity as MTN, as Uganda, but it's also going to serve the communities where we are passing.
This fiber optic route comes with targets of expansion of digital infrastructure along the East African corridor.
We are very pleased to note that this investment in this corridor by MTN will also further improve redundancy as far as the backhaul and also ICT is concerned. The fiber route will offer much needed diversity to our national backbone, improve uptime and lower latency, essentially for Uganda's economic and information resilience.
It's in collaboration with Uganda Railway, on whose rail network Baobab deployed fiber to enhance connectivity and provide high-speed internet.
This day is important for us as MTN because we believe that connectivity is important for driving progress. We believe it allows us to be able to connect every opportunity that our customers have, be they business, SMEs, the ISP providers that are in the room, the government, who is also one of our key customers. It allows them to be able to access the opportunities that they have and also drive the digital solutions for Ugandans.
The new route supports over 1 terabyte of capacity and offers low latency, high redundancy connectivity to key data centers in Kampala. The launch of this fiber optic route aligns with Uganda's national agenda to digitize services, expand connectivity, and close the gap between urban and rural access.
That is all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakuni and all of us here. Wish you the best of the night. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
I'd love to take this opportunity to thank our President, Yoweri Kaguta Kiruhura Museveni, by coming up with a Myoga program. We started in 2021 as Kasumi Parish Carpenters and Myoga Circle. When we received this amount of 30 million, we had a problem, we had a challenge of machines. We used to carry our wood and we would carry it up to Bwaise to be worked on. So when we got this chance, we are able to buy machines to ease our work of carpentry. At the moment, we are a number composed of 140 members. We have the women who come in and do saloon chairs. We have the men doing 3-drawer tables, 2-drawer tables, and different kind of furniture. Before the Myoga program came in, we had a lot of crimes taking place on this road. When this Myoga program came up,